Hi, my name is Kaylin Sonyi. This is video 2. This video is on my informal assessment. So, the way I designed the informal assessment is that I wanted to go over the student's weaknesses compared to her evaluation data. However, her current evaluation data is from when she was 3 years old. She is now 7. When she was 3, a lot of the weaknesses she had at that time are no longer weaknesses. I've been working with the student since August. Like, it kind of shocked me to see the things she was struggling with at 3 years old compared to now. Her weaknesses that I had to address in this assessment were communication and physical development. I did my best to include those. However, I wanted to get more of a clear view on some of her cognitive ability, because if I have to decide, I'm looking at the later on modules, knowing that I have to design a IEP and teach some lessons for her, and I need a little more to go off of for present level than just what she could do at 3 years old. I needed to see a more accurate, this is what she can do now. So my informal assessment has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has 6 items. And the first item is that she had to identify her numbers. So it was numbers 1 through 20 I wrote on a paper, or I had typed on a paper. As I pointed, she had to tell me. So she was able to get 1 through 10 correct with no problem. 11 and 14 she missed. 12, 13, and 15 she knew. However, she did not know 16 through 20. She scored 12 out of 20 on this assignment. So item number 2 was, it's some letters. So it was actually some consonants. These are consonants that are, a student should know the sound and how to identify them by the end of kindergarten. So what I did was the same as the numbers. I pointed and had her tell me the letter. She did this without a problem, except for the letter V. She said U, and I know it's because of the shape. Also, the letter Y, she didn't answer because she got distracted. She scored 19 out of 21 for letter identification. When asked to give me the sound, she knew that B had the B sound. The reason for this is because this is something we've been working on a lot lately in class, as well as during our reading intervention times. So she knew the B sound. We're doing one letter at a time until she gets it. So now that we got B, I'm going to start working on another letter. But right now, that's where she's at. Item 3, I had her write her name. This was to testify motor skills. And I can show you. You can kind of tell. Her fine motor skills are super weak. She knows her name. She can say her name. She can take the first letter of her name. However, when it comes time to write it, she wants to scribble on the paper. She wants to play with it. She doesn't want to actually try to write it. She just wants to scribble in color. Item 4 was counting with one-to-one correspondence. So I had her count the objects by pointing to each object and saying the number. So there were 3 stores in the paper. Well, the first time she went to do it, she wants to play around and say a bunch of random numbers. This is normal. This is every day. She likes to play before she does it seriously. Well, I took her finger and said, okay, no, you're going to count. So I took her finger and touched each one. She counted to 3. I then say, okay, can you find the number? Because I had a list of numbers 1, 4, 3, and 5. She pointed to 3. I circled it. She got that one correct. Well, then the next one had 7 circles. And instead of sitting at the table and working on it, she got up and walked away. She didn't want to do it anymore. So this is where I was like, okay, we're going to take a break. However, when we came back to it later, she still didn't want to count for me. So this one stayed blank. She got a 0 on it. Item number 4 was some sight words. This is like kindergarten, first grade level sight words. I included this because I wanted to see if there were any that she didn't know. She knew the word A and the word I, probably because they're letters. She got a score of 2 out of 20. My last section of this test, item 6, I kind of just made some tasks to ask the student because I wanted to see if she could answer questions and follow directions. So receptive language, expressive language. Can the student say his or her name? She can. She said it without producing the letter sounds, but she did say it. Can the student touch his or her foot? Yes, she can. She can bend down and touch it. This is gross motor skills. Can the student stay on one foot? Again, gross motor skills. She couldn't do it. Her balance is off. Can the student jump up and down? Yes, she can. So, out of that assessment, the whole assessment was worth 97 points. She scored a 42, which put her at 43%. Now, the weaknesses I'm finding are letter sounds for sure. Counting, I don't find that's a weakness. I find she just didn't want to do it. And I'm with her every day, so I can tell you she can count when she wants to. It's her choice. When she wants to do something, she can do it. Fine motor skills is a big weakness for us right now. Sight words, I put it to just to kind of get an idea if she could do it or not. Until we get those letter sounds, we really not able to work on sight words. However, we can work on letter sounds and sight words together. And that's kind of what my plan is. And then gross motor skills, she's fine with that. She's got that. Except for staying on one foot, but that's a balance issue and is being addressed with physical therapy. So my main area of concern is those letter sounds and the fine motor skills. So describe the results. So I found the assessment I gave did give the information I was looking for. However, compared to the formal evaluation, I find mine was a little more accurate to her present levels of functioning because this is where she is at 7 years old. That eval was done when she was 3. They do not correlate because of that. Fine motor skills are still a weakness. However, everything else, it just doesn't. She was 3 years old. I do not feel she gave me the best effort. At first she did. She was really excited to try for me. But after about a few minutes, we had to take a break. We took quite a few breaks during this. With the counting, she just wants to play around, which is a constant struggle. She likes to play. If I could redo this assessment, I would try to make it more play-based to get her attention better with it. Maybe a little more kid-friendly than what I did. Thank you for your time. Bye. Have a good night.